This morning I dropped off my truck to get the tires changed and decided to walk back home using the walking trail. The walking trail is an old railroad track that was converted into a walking biker's trail. Those of you who come to visit might want to use it because it gets you across town. It's a great place to exercise without having to worry about traffic. And at the end of the trail, you'll find a series of museums here in Brownsville. As I'm walking back, I'm thinking of a conversation that I had with a friend recently, and he was asking why Easter happens on different dates. Why it's not like Christmas that happens on the same date every year. Well, my short answer is that Easter happens the Sunday after the first full moon of spring. But of course, anything having to do with religion is a little bit more complicated than that. My answer was correct until the year 325 AD, when the church decided that they were going to change the date to establish a more standardized date for Easter to happen. They said that from then on, Easter would happen the Sunday after the Paschal full moon. Now it sounds similar to what I said earlier, but the Paschal full moon actually is on March 20th, which is the date of the full moon that happened in 325 AD. So that's a standardized date. Now that is true in the Western churches, because the Eastern churches follow a different calendar. The Western churches follow the Gregorian calendar, whereas the Eastern churches follow the Julian calendar, and that is why the dates are very seldom the same. Going back to the Paschal full moon, since it's on the same date every year, the date of the actual full moon and the Paschal full moon can vary by a few days. That is why Easter can happen anytime between March 25th to about April 22nd, if I remember correctly. Now that is a very simple explanation to a very complicated process, but I hope it clarifies a little bit. Since I'm on the subject of Easter, one of the questions that happens frequently is that we refer to Lent as the 40 days. As a matter of fact, most of the songs that we sing in church refer to Lent as the 40 days. But if you look at the time between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday, it's actually not 40 days. It's a little bit longer than that. Well, again, the short explanation to that is that Sundays are not counted in these days because each Sunday is considered a mini Easter. That's the day of the Lord. And so the Sundays are not included in the 40 days. And again, that's just a short answer to a little bit more complicated process. If anybody would like to add any comments or further explanation, please feel free. But if you follow the formula of the first Sunday after the first full moon of spring, you're going to be pretty close to when Easter happens every year.